Gentlemen on the seas and on this rock. Captain Pizzazz here. We're gonna work on some timing. So let me move the camera and we'll get right to it. Alright gentlemen, so the first thing we did, a few of these open holes where this cover is gonna go, we just ran a tap through them. We just took our tap wrench, just tapped them out. Got the paint out of them because they're open to the back, so when we spray painted them they got a little bit of paint in them. That's what we did, we worked on. So the first step is to put on our sprocket. So we already bolted on this tensioner that we machined. We already have the keyway on the crank, and this is all clean. We got our new sprocket today. So we'll slide that on, that's the first step. And I find it odd that it only engages halfway, but that's how it's supposed to be. So here's the old one, guess we'll save it for a spare. Then the next step, we put the chain on. I have the book here, so we're going to make sure as we go through that we're doing it in the right order and the right everything. So, woodruff key, engage the timing chain. Okie dokie, one brand new timing chain, gentlemen. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Let me bunch her up back up. If you can see that, there's a link on there. There's a couple of them that are white. So that is what goes down. Let me straighten up this block here so we can get this the way we need to do it. So here is our timing, brand new timing chain. And on the bottom of the sprocket, there's actually a dot. So let's see. Let's see how easy it is to do it like the instructions say to do it. Yeah, we'll have to do the key and the chain all separate. So this way, there we go. There is that. Now I put that link there. We lay it, that's why another reason why I put the tensioner there, so we can lay it over it and it'll stay on our gear. So there, one brand new timing chain installed. Now the next step is to put on the keeper. So let me grab the bolts out of the solution behind me. Okay, so I believe this keeper goes across there. And there we go. That's not going anywhere. Now, fixed guide. So we're going to get our new parts out, the new fixed guide. Wanted to show you something on the old one, gentlemen. Let me come over by the camera. It's good that we took this all apart because we didn't see this when we took the timing apart in the car. You look right there. The old part is cracked, and it was not dropped on the floor or anything like that. That's how it came out of the car, and it's very, very grooved. This one, of course, is not cracked, and it is also not grooved. So, says to put the fixed guide on next. Let's see here. This will go right here somewhere. Let's see. See if I remember how this goes. Is it here? Oh, it's here. Yeah. I believe it goes like that, yeah. And then this guide here is for the balance chain, which we're not using anymore, so it's just kind of hanging out in the air. But this will come up like this. So, don't lose our bolt. So we grab half of the timing chain. And put it inside the guide, like so. Okay, there's one brand new. Alright, gentlemen, so we fixed our little problem. And we'll show you the difference real quick on these two. Here's why you buy, if you can be inside your engine, here's why you buy timing parts. This one here, really grooved. This one is not grooved, nice and brand new. Alright, gentlemen, we got it right this time. We had it right the first time, we just weren't thinking. So, that'll go there, that'll go there. And of course our chain will drop, but that's why we have this to protect it from, it keeps it on the mark it needs to be on the sprocket. So then, if we had a balance shaft, this is where the arm broke off from the balance shaft, and that was on here like this. And there'd be an arm that comes up in front of this tensioner to push out on the balance chain that cuts through here and does funny things. But being the machinist that we are, we made an aluminium one, and that just pops on like so. Gotta have these spacers because, you know, all the junk. So let me throw away some of these old parts. There's that. There's the little spacer, the original spacer. Now this piece, we're trying to figure out where it goes. We're hoping we didn't miss it, but I don't know, a little double tang thing for oil. I don't know. I'm doing research on it, but can't seem to find it. So, next piece. The only old piece we're really using that has nothing to do with timing, it just is a spacer as well. I don't think that's how it is. Let me see. I'm gonna go do some research and see what we get, guys. Be right back. Alright guys, looking at some pictures, I think I found where it goes. This one goes up here. This one goes here. And that's basically just a spacer now. And that's about all it is. It keeps this it keeps the tensioned one from deflecting as well outward. So if I get the chain tension out, it only bumps into the plastic, whereas this arm would slide forward and it'd be a mess. So let me tighten this up. And when I find out what that little tine thing does with the two tines, I mean, we might have to take it apart again. So, you know, and I'll double check, make sure everything is in the spot it's supposed to be, but I am pretty sure we got it. So that's good, that's tight. From memory, of course. So I'm going to go do more research. The next bit of kit we have, this used to be a gear, and all I did was take a die grinder, and the gear was a big gear, like about yay big. And I just took a die grinder and cut off most of the gear, and then chucked it up in the lathe and spun it around. It's just basically a spacer at this point. Less reciprocating mass, all that good stuff. And that just goes right there. If that Woodruff key would stand still, or sit still. Alright, gentlemen, taking a closer look. We didn't even have to do any research. We just kind of fumbled around. And if we look right here, let me grab the little tine thing. Where's our lens? So if you look, that's what it looks like, and that's what it looks like. So it's inside this, so it must be the oiler for the chain inside there. So it came apart, and that's another good reason why we need to replace this stuff when we have the engine out, because that popped right out, and I can only imagine how much oil the chain was not getting because of it. So alright, I'm going to put this all back together now that we figured it out, and come back to you. There's about one or two more steps after I get it all back together, guys. Alright, gentlemen, so in a previous video you might have seen me machine this down. This is just a little plug I made. It matches this idler plug, but this idler fills with oil, and then oil comes out that little hole to lubricate this gear. And since we're not using the balance shafts anymore, we just took a piece of aluminum, got it so our bolt would fit. All we'll do is take a little tiny dabble of this gasket maker stuffs, spread it on the inside face like so. If any squishes out, that's not enough to plug our galleys. So, and we'll put a little on the sides here. I don't know if you can see me in the camera. Just the tiniest of dabs. Not that kind, you guys. Let me close my container so we have it left for, and we use this for the timing cover, the oil pan, and the rear engine cover. There's like some little weird thing. So this just goes right in here in the engine, guys. There we go. That should seal that galley that goes from this balance shaft up to this balance shaft idler sprocket lubrication. I don't think there's anything else we can do. We got to get some stock to machine something either out of aluminum or steel to plug these last two galleys, and then I think this will all be done in front. I don't on the bow here, so I don't see anything else we need to put in there. And then once that's dry, we'll scrape off the excess. We gotta still machine some things. So, here, we'll show you this machinist tool now. Here is what we call a depth mic. It reads backwards, kind of from a regular micrometer. So right there is 0, and if you look, the rod is flat with the base at 0. And this is actually the non-rotating kind. I spent the extra money. They are nicer. If you look, the rod's coming up and not turning. So that makes it so when you measure a step in something, it doesn't walk around on whatever you're measuring while you're trying to measure it. So it's a Steerit, of course. That's my brand that I like for precision. So that's what we used on the original part. We made this part, this step here, deeper so it'd contact the back of the wall and then seal up, all that good stuff. But to measure that depth, to get that, we use that depth mic. So anyway, guys, let's see, I'm gonna see if there's anything else we need to do. All right, gentlemen, so that was part 2 of the timing end of the engine block. There's 1 or 2 more parts to go. And if you see behind me, I have my Scania, oops, terrible. I have my Scania flag right here. That's they make marine engines, I believe trucks and buses, things like that. So it was part of Saab at one time. But anyway, I'll talk to you later, guys. And as always, stay safe out there. Car love, guys.